Welcome to Mike. This is your host, Mike Cannon, and of course, today I'm going to be talking about the AP College Poll. But before we get into the episode, make sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Those will all be right here. But anyhow, let's get right into this video. So, the AP poll. Of course, many people know that it did change a lot this week because, as you can see right here, because there were a lot of losses, including my Georgia Bulldogs, who are all the way down to like number 12, I believe. So, yeah, that was pretty bad. However, I'm going to make my focus really the top 5 teams because I feel like those are the only teams that quite have a chance at going to the college football playoff at this point. Maybe number 6, Texas A&M. But I am going to be looking at the AP poll, not the coaches poll. So that would be the poll on the left side. But if you want to look at the coaches poll, go ahead. It's pretty interesting as well. Number 1, of course, is Alabama. Why is this a surprise to anybody? I thought Alabama was the number 1 team since week 1. They have Mac Jones, who can make an argument for being the best quarterback in the SEC. They have Mechie, whatever his last name is. He is a really good freshman wide receiver. He came from Canada, I believe. Of course, they have Devontae Smith, who is probably the best wide receiver in the draft or in the upcoming draft right now. I believe he's in the upcoming draft. I'm not quite sure, but he's a great wide receiver. Najee Harris, running back, he is leading all of college football in rushing. Last time I checked, he was leading. I'm not sure if that stands true now, but he was leading in college football rushing last time I checked. And of course, they got, I can't remember his name right now, but he did get hurt in that Tennessee game. He's one of my favorite receivers. I don't know why I can't remember his name. But yeah, he did get hurt in that Tennessee game. That was one of their best wide receivers. He was on the way to like a huge year. He was leading the team in yards, I believe, before that injury. It was Jalen Waddle. That was his name. Jalen Waddle. He was leading the team in receiving yards before the injury, which is just unfortunate, but I still believe Alabama's the best team in the land. Notre Dame, it's like every year they get up to this spot and then they lose a game and go all the way down like 8 spots and have to completely reset for next season. Notre Dame is one of the better teams in college football, but I believe that they're also the more overlooked team. They just beat a Clemson team, and I know they didn't have their starting quarterback, but it's not like that freshman quarterback was bad by any means. It was still a good Clemson team. They held Travis Etienne to 28 yards on the ground. They're a very good football team. They are more than deserving of that top spot. I mean of that number 2 spot, excuse me. That's one of the best teams. Of course, Ian Book isn't all of that. He isn't the best quarterback, but he's in a system that works for him, and at the end of the day, that's all you can go by. He's in a system that works for him. Notre Dame's defense, they're pretty good. I believe that this team can definitely make a push for a national title run. That is, if they can avoid Alabama, who I think is going to win the national title. Number 3, and probably the best offense in all of college football, with, in my opinion, the best quarterback in all of college football, Ohio State, and, of course, the best quarterback in college football, in my humble opinion, Justin Fields. Ohio State's defense they're good when going against iffy teams. They can't defend these great teams, which does give me concern. That's why I see them ranked at number 3, because their defense is absolutely terrible when going against great teams. However, you can't deny the fact that Justin Fields through 3 weeks has without a doubt been one of the best quarterbacks in college football, if not the best quarterback in college football, given the fact that for the past 2 weeks, Clemson's quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, has been out for coronavirus, COVID-19 reasons. He had to stay away from the team a little bit. Yeah. But we all know that Ohio State, their offense is amazing. Of course, I have some concerns about Justin Fields going in the draft because he can only, it's like he only makes one read because his wide receivers are just that good. So I have concerns for him. But as far as college football goes, that one little read is working for him. So Ohio State, they're definitely a team to watch out for. And if they can get the defense to at least decent status, I think that they will make a push for the national championship. Of course, number 4 is Clemson. Clemson, I think, has the best running back in the draft, Travis Etienne. This year, he's been reminding me a lot of Alvin Kamara, a running back who is really good running the ball. He's actually better coming out of the backfield than Alvin Kamara is. But he's also improved his receiving, and that's one thing people have to look out for when looking at running backs such as Alvin Kamara, running backs such as CMC. you have to look out for that receiving in the backfield. It really provides a safety valve for a quarterback. So I believe that if you put him in the league, if you give him a very young quarterback, he'll be really good. Of course, Trevor Lawrence, he's been out the past 2 weeks. Tough loss coming against Notre Dame. Trevor Lawrence, when he comes back, this Clemson team is going to go absolutely crazy. This will probably be their only loss on the year. They're going to win the ACC championship. They are going to make a title push as they do every year. Now, will they beat Alabama? I don't know. But I can tell you this. It will be another Clemson-Alabama matchup in the national championship. Mark my words. Now, I'm going to read number 5 and number 6 because number 5 and number 6 are two very interesting teams as I try and get a peek of the AP poll. The number 5 team is Texas A&M. Texas A&M is the first great team with absolutely no defense. Texas A&M cannot defend anybody by any means, but Texas A&M's offense has been absolutely flourishing this year. Kellen Mond, he seems to be the perfect quarterback for that system. They've really been working out that system there, with Kellen Mond being a very mobile and bigger quarterback. Then they have that great running game, pretty decent receivers. Texas A&M's offense is working. Do I feel like that they will compete for the national championship? No, because simply Texas A&M does not have a great defense. They can't defend anybody on the road. If you see what Florida and Alabama did to them, they're one of those teams that can compete, but I don't know if they can compete with those big teams yet. So lay off on Texas A&M, people, okay? They could make a push for the top 4, but it's not highly likely. I think that at best they'll end the season at number 5. They'll have to get the defense upgraded a little bit, and then I can see Texas A&M definitely making a push for the national title. And of course, number 6, the team that beat my Georgia Bulldogs last weekend, the Florida Gators. Kyle Trask needs to be inserted into the conversation for Heisman Trophy. He had an incredible game against Georgia. He had more passing yards than all of the Georgia QBs combined, which is just utterly disrespectful. That was insane. He's running one of the best offenses in college football. Florida themselves, again, they're in the Texas A&M situation. Great offense. Once they get the defense together, they will be able to compete. That's simply it. They're basically Texas A&M, except with a better quarterback in Kyle Trask. Florida, I think they can definitely make a push. I believe that they can beat some of these top teams, especially if their defense decides to show up. They've been missing a couple of starting corners the last 2 weekends, so we don't really know what that full revamped offense is going to look like, defense is going to look like, we don't know what that defense is going to look like. And another thing you need to also be aware of is that Kyle Pitts took a huge hit from Lewis Cine that last game against Georgia, so we don't know how he's going to be. Lots of uncertainties for a team like Florida, but they are definitely one of the better football teams in the land. Now, some teams to watch out for to climb potentially back up. Wisconsin, they're a great football team. The only reason they're that far down at 14 is because they've had one or two games canceled, which is they're down at 13. I got the coaches poll confused, but 13 and 14, same thing. They're down there because they had a couple of games canceled. Oregon is very good. They have the best offensive lineman in the draft. Georgia, it's going to be tough for them. 2 losses, and both of them within the little division. It's really hard. They have to count on Florida losing potentially 2 more games, and I don't think that's going to happen. BYU is a great football team. They're really good. They can definitely climb up. Cincinnati can definitely climb up. Miami, with their great quarterback in De'Ara King, can definitely climb up. Indiana, I don't think they're an amazing football team. They're just a good football team. They can definitely climb up. But look out for all the teams I just named besides Georgia because, they're in a tough quarterback situation at this point. But look out for all those teams I just named because those teams can potentially make a push for the college football playoff run. So we're in for a huge mix-up this year. I think that this is going to be one of the better college football seasons we've had in a long time. But anyhow, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. We're in for a very good football season. I believe that, of course, Alabama's going to come out because they just have an insane team. They have a great defense. They have a great offense. Alabama's a great team. I believe they're going to pull it out at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, you never, ever know. So make sure to like and subscribe. This was a fairly short video. Follow me on Instagram. All that stuff is going to be right up here. So anyways, thank you for watching. I will catch you guys next episode.